You are listening to Two Heels and a Face Wrestling Podcast, a podcast where we believe wrestling is a buffet and there's something there for everyone. Make sure you're following us on all social media such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook under Two Heels and a Face. That's number 2 Heels and a Face. Make sure you check out our website, twoheelsandaface.com.
Ever, 2 heels and a face.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Twos in a Face Wrestling Podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be watching some more wrestling. Yes, that is right. Last 2 weeks ago, we had on Trent from AAW. Talked a little bit about the cancellation, kind of what went down, a little bit of behind the scenes stuff, which is really cool for Trent to tell us, explain to us. They were trying to scramble for a different venue, things like that. It's a really fun episode, and we watched 2 AAW matches. And Chris, I guess we can't get enough of just chilling with beers, watching wrestling, right?
I mean, that's what it's all about, you know? And then also when you have great company, right? So we couldn't get enough of that. And for this week, we're bringing in, a good friend from the AAW family.
Yes. It's the second time this person's been on the podcast. We had there was one of those Instagram memories, if you say, what have you. And they popped up. That's back when we used to do in-person interviews. Do you remember those
Remember
days?
that? Dude, I gotta, my equipment is just there collecting dust.
Or are you saying we should go? Does your company still have that office? No?
No, we don't no longer have that office space.
Okay.
And the company that I'm working for now, we're moving to a new space. So we might have some extra space that we can use if we needed to do another in-person. I mean, it would be nice to at least, bring that back just for, maybe a special occasion. I don't know. We're on episode, 244, maybe by 250, we'll figure something out. I don't know.
It's a little nice in person because there isn't that talking over you thing, right? That you and I will do. And I'm
technical difficulties.
Yeah, no technical difficulties. You don't have people joining from tablets or without headphones. You know who you are if you're listening to this. So I texted, spoiler alert, it's Nate Speckman, referee extraordinaire, fan, overall good dude. He's our guest today. I messaged him. I'm like, hey, here's what you need to bring. He's just laughing at it. I'm like, you'd be surprised how many people show up to these interviews and they don't have the proper equipment. In person, you don't really have to worry about that. So I do miss a little bit of that. I do miss the trek, the journey. I would take the L to you. And it's just, if conversation flows a little bit better. But the positive, I guess, of today, right, catching up with an old friend, and we get to the virtual watching of wrestling, which is this episode is probably best viewed on our YouTube channel. Don't shut it off if you're in the car or anything like that. But we get to kind of watch and commentate on the match together and just shoot the shit. So that's the positive of today, right?
I mean, we are a positive cast, right?
It's true.
So,
at least we try.
That being said, even though we have not recorded in person, it feels like we're in person. Again, talking with Nate, I'm going to bring him in. He's in the green room. He's already here. And, I just want to say that, for social media moments like that, where you get that, the memory or whatever it is, it's kind of cool. Because again, COVID has kind of kept us away. And I think during that time, Nathan moved, away from Chicago.
Yeah.
And being able to do this, virtually is pretty cool. So Nate, come on in.
Hey.
Oh, is that a welcome back chant?
That is a welcome back chant.
Oh my God.
That is what you get when you have a virtual space.
Thank you. That was nice. I thought it was gonna be somebody doing a 3 count.
No.
We gotta capture the audio. We'll clip it and just reuse it next time. Then
you are the star today. I know the referees stay out of the spotlight, but that is not true in this regard. Nate, it's been years, man. How's life been? What you been up to? We have literally no agenda bullet points today except watch 2 matches.
Cool.
So,
Love it.
man. How you been?
I've been good. been really busy doing theater and wrestling.
Okay.
Sort of one foot in one world and one foot in the other. And working on sound designing 2 plays right now.
Oh, shit.
And then also doing some wrestling shows. So trying to stay busy.
What are the, I'm assuming this is a place around where you live now, where is that again?
So I'm in Maine, in a town just north of Portland called Yarmouth.
Okay.
And yeah, so there's a theater company in Portland called the Portland Theater Festival, and they're running 2 shows, one right after the other, and I'm helping to sound design both of those. Sort of like a co or maybe assistant sound design position. Not exactly sure what the title is right now. But working with their sound designer to help build a world via sound.
So assistant sound designer or assistant to the sound designer?
Right. Yeah, that's the question. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt.
And it's funny to think, reminiscing, right? We met you through the play whose name
right.
is escaping me right now. What was the name of the play?
That's right.
It was The Elaborate Entrance of Chad Didi. I have it.
I knew it was Diddy something, but I don't want to botch it.
Where is it?
We're really bad with names on this podcast. But it was a wrestling related play in Chicago.
Yes.
I think it was Nathan who may have reached out to us because we were just kind of starting as a podcast. And we watched the play, met Nate, excuse me. Your name tag's throwing me off with the Nathan. And then we,
can I change it right now?
You might be able to, I don't know. And then we went to the play, reviewed the play, and then you became a referee. And that's kind of how but we had met you before the refereeing stuff. So we met you in theater. As it's changing his name tag. There it is.
It's so wild.
This is what it is.
There it is. Yes, this is the bonus stuff. You only get on YouTube. The Elaborate Entrance of Chad Didi. The stage was a ring. What was your role in that again? You were helping. Were you doing sound?
I was the assistant to the director.
Okay.
But then I also, funny enough, understudied the role of the referee in that show.
There you go. And
it was August 15th through September 16th of 2017.
I feel like we might have been. We started in March of that year, right, Kris?
I'm bad at dates as well, not just names.
I think we might have been like 6 months old at that point, maybe 5 to 6. So you got it on the ground level.
Yeah, Nate made us feel important for sure.
Nate made us feel important. And then he even like used one of our quotes from our podcast. We felt like we had come up. So it was a very fun time. It's cool to see you're still.
I mean, it was great. Theater. You guys came.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. No, I think there's a little lag.
A little bit of a lag. Yeah, we're all good. What were you gonna say?
All good now. No, I was just saying it was great I reached out to you guys, and not only did you talk about the show on the podcast, but you came to see it, which I thought was really fun, really great. So thank you. I still appreciate that.
If I'm not mistaken, I think when we recorded the episode regarding talking about that we had gone to the play, we lost that audio. I don't know if you remember that, Charlie. We were in an office space that was way smaller, where it was just that one office room. We had access to like a conference room, but we didn't have it that day. We recorded and that didn't record. So I think we did it over. I think that's one of the few times that we have done that in this podcast. We had to just re-record an entire episode.
It probably came out better now. When you do it the second time around, you're like, you remember everything instead of like, oh, I wish I would have said this, etc. So yeah, you got the second take of that.
And you just you just happen to subconsciously cut out the bad stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. We probably did a lot more editing back in those days. Now I feel like we're kind of seat of the pants, which fly by the seat of the pants, which is all good, I think. I think it's
that works too.
Yeah. So cool that you're still involved in the theater. The wrestling. Tell us about the wrestling out there. I mean, I know you probably started working for promotion right when you moved out, because I think you kind of still wanted to do it, right? You still wanted to ref.
Absolutely, yeah. There's one major promotion in Maine, that being Limitless Wrestling, that I was like, these are the people that I want to work for.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to get in with them pretty like right as soon as I moved back, and they were doing like closed taping shows where they would test everybody, and then if you like the car that you were coming in, and it was specifically like very local people at the time, but if the car that you were coming in, anybody in that car was sick, they would turn the car right back around and you wouldn't be allowed in. And there were no fans. They just had the wrestlers sit at ringside and like cheer everybody on and make noise. So we did there were two like block tapings of those, and then we did like sort of like those were like we do 40-50 matches in 2 days, and then slowly put it out like on a 4-match episode every week on IWTV. And then we did 2 seasons of that, and then started doing like normal like 8-match cards, but still closed off the same way with wrestlers around the ring and everything. And then let fans in, I think July of 2021.
Okay.
Or 2022, I think. And just been rocking and rolling with Limitless ever since. It's my home promotion. I love them very much. But I also started working with a group in Massachusetts called Pro Wrestling Grind, which is a wonderful company. I can't say enough good things about the work that's done down in East Hampton, Massachusetts.
Nice. So Limitless, what is like, if you could sell Limitless to it's cool that it sounds like they stayed really creative. How can we get content out there during while the pandemic was going on? So that's really cool. How would you describe to someone who maybe hasn't given them a try or hasn't gone to a show or anything, like what would be your elevator pitch to like sell them on Limitless? Like what are they known for? What are they good at, etc.?
So we're gonna watch one of their matches, and I think that might help sell it all by itself. But so the way that Limitless runs shows is very I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't run the shows, so I don't know exactly like the ins and outs and everything, obviously, but like it seems to me like it's not about yes, it's a business and businesses are about making money, but it's not about making money over giving the fans what they want, giving the fans a good show. And Limitless cares very much about how invested the fans can get before, during, after, in between shows. There's a lot of work that goes in terms of planning and prep and conversations that happen where if anybody knew anything about it, they'd be like, oh dang, this is like they care a great deal. And it comes out in their shows. The flow, I liken it a lot to honestly like an AAW show where it's some companies will put out their card ahead of time, like all at once. It'll be like, these are the 8 matches that you're getting, these are the people that you're going to see, and let's hype it up for a month. And then but like AAW and Limitless do like a slow rollout of things, and they maybe don't give you everything all up front. Maybe a match will be announced at the show for later on in the evening, stuff like that. That I think is really, it makes it feel like you have to be there. It makes every show sort of feel like it's can't miss.
Okay.
That's a good point. I actually hadn't thought about that. That AAW does not usually also put out the entire card. Like you get a couple matches, but then once you're there, you're gonna see stuff that you were not expecting, or maybe you were expecting, but it was not officially announced. So I kind of like that approach.
It makes it more fun, honestly.
So it sounds
And
like
we'll
they. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Sorry.
do you want us to roll right into the match? We have what, Kylie Rae versus Becca.
Yes.
Sure, we could do that. Who's Becca?
So Becca is from the Northeast.
To my left, from Columbus, Ohio, the international pop sensation, Becca!
And she is the international pop sensation.
Okay.
Becca is, I have to say, one of my favorite wrestlers at the moment.
And Kylie, of course, we know.
I had to put this one in there for you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the fans will appreciate it as well. Now we have a reason to tag Kylie in the social post as well. So, Kylie, if you're listening, we always appreciate the retweet button. Shameless.
She will.
Yes.
She will.
She will. So, does Becca have the bad qualities of a pop star or the good qualities of a pop star?
Honestly, both.
Okay.
It's
she, yeah.
So she. Oh, we have a commercial.
Oh, we are gonna have ads, so hang tight.
Yeah. So yeah, Becca, I think, has only been doing this for like less than 4 years, and wasn't a wrestling fan before she started, and the way she has picked things up is just incredible to watch. There's been a couple of times where I'm in the ring and
as you are now,
as I am now,
mm-hmm.
And you just feel this energy that I can't explain, that the crowd gives to her, and she like takes and gives back. She's incredible.
So she's naturally good in front of a crowd. Probably. You said she's not a wrestling fan, so a lot of that.
She is now. I'm sure
now.
She wasn't before she started.
Okay, wasn't before she started. Cool. So a lot of that seems innate then, probably. Like, so that's something she kind of had when she first started.
Yeah, you could see it. It's definitely grown and evolved over time, but you could definitely see it when she started.
Nice. There's a guy who's wearing he's got some kind of, it's like a wig with a beard combo. Do you see that guy? Is that Santa? Was this a December show?
Yes, it was December. It was early December.
Okay.
Santa Claus is in the crowd, ladies and gentlemen.
So as a ref, right, going from going through different promotions, like, are they things that you need to like adjust or know about ahead of time? Like, does it depend on the promotion, or just, it's like, oh, it's just a different show, things are just gonna run differently?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes people have different rule sets. Like at Limitless specifically, there's it's not necessarily a rule against closed fist punches, but they are. I will admonish people for throwing them.
Okay.
Closed fist punches are very much legal and encouraged at Pro Wrestling Grind, so I don't say anything about it there.
Sure.
Some places will, they'll sort of do like lucha tags maybe, or 20 count on the outside, or things like that. So if I go to a new place, I do like to ask if there's anything different. I always like to make sure where the ring bell is, where the hard cam is, where the timekeeper's table is, stuff like that.
Speaking of, last 2 weeks ago when we watched an AAW match, Robert Anthony, that match is happening, by the way. If you go to AAW Pro on Twitter, or Threads. Maybe I wonder if they're on Threads. Maybe not on Twitter. The new social media platform Threads was just announced today. The Zuck is up to no good, but on Twitter you can go to AAW Pro, and they did release the match card for Robert Anthony, Mance Warner, Pure Rules wrestling match. So Nate, you gotta, if you have any sort of advice you can give to the referees at AEW, because you're not supposed to throw closed fists in a Pure Rules wrestling match. Yeah, and there's a 20 count, so it's like a lot of the stuff you're used to enforcing, I think.
Well, I have to imagine Perch is going to be the one officiating that. And I have no notes or nothing to say to make Perch's work better. So
no, that's true. I don't see. I see Perch is very pure, but I don't necessarily. If Manser breaks those rules, I can't really see Perch giving the DQ to him. But he's just too nice of a guy. But we'll see.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to watch just for that.
So I'm assuming Becca's pretty young in terms of her career, and she seems, which would be more impressive if she was like early 20s and being able to go toe to toe with Kylie, I think.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
But I would have to imagine probably mid-20s.
Okay.
This match was so good.
Yeah, you definitely see Kylie here just trying to figure out like what to do, right? Like Becca definitely has the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
And Nate, talk to me about reffing with a mask.
Oh boy, yeah.
That sucks. It looks like it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, my main goal was trying to be safe. I have since taken it off. I feel like transmission rates are low enough now that I feel comfortable with it. It didn't like impede my breathing or anything like that. That was perfectly fine. It was interesting. I found that I became more. I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like I have to imagine it happened to like Sami Zayn or some of these people that worked for a long time under a mask but have the most expressive face. I feel like I got better like facially after wearing a mask for an extended period of time.
You gotta like use your eyes and your eyebrows, right, to make a point.
Yeah,
basically. And your hands, but like, yeah, that's the only part of the face that's really seen. Kylie busting out her classic stuff here. But yeah, if you're listening, and it's like we're not talking as much, or it's because we're watching a match, head on over to our YouTube channel. Honestly, you don't have to turn this off, but at some point, you can put together, you can look at what we're looking at here.
Oh no.
And you can find this match also on Limitless YouTube channel for sure.
That's true.
YouTube.com/Limitless Wrestling.
There you go.
There you go.
So like the grind, was it Pro Wrestling Grind? The other one you said, is that more like hardcore, or just more like
no?
They have less rules?
It's no, it's not hardcore, and they do have rules. They very much have rules, but it's more. It has like a Japanese strong style flavor to it.
Oh, cool.
So it's really focused on the like sport aspect and the combat of it.
Interesting. That's really cool. You don't get a ton of indie promotions that are dedicated completely to that. It's like the Japan style,
right?
At least here in the States. A lot of kicks. Do you know when this was? What year this was?
This was last year,
Oh, okay.
December of last year.
So yeah, this match is not too long ago.
No, and then I
6
think
months.
right after this, or like a week or 2 weeks after this, maybe, I think, was when Kylie showed up on Main Event.
Oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
Right. How is their card? How are their cards usually in terms of talent? Like, is it a lot of homegrown people, a lot of out east people? Like, is there a lot of fly-ins, or is it a mix of everything?
It's definitely a mix of everything. Right now our champion is a guy I'm sure you are very familiar with, is Big Beef Gnarls Garvin.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He is currently our heavyweight champion, and he last defeated Timothy Thatcher, who was a big fly-in for that show. He has a look at these strikes.
Yeah, they're not holding back.
Beef has an upcoming title defense later this month against Anthony Henry, one half of the Workhorsemen. Here's a commercial.
We get to judge Chris's commercials based on like see how the
targeted
algorithm
ads.
is targeting.
I don't know if it's me or you, Charlie, because this is the Two Heels account.
Oh, well, it's probably not. It's probably a clean slate because I really just
Right.
don't-
They're just
I
trying to throw random things at us.
I just log in to upload and then I log right out of that channel. So, what were you
And so
saying?
we've got a fair amount of homegrown. Oh, she's biting her, and I'm yelling.
Oh,
at her.
wow. Okay.
We have a fair amount of homegrown talent. Right now, we at the show coming up later this month, we have a number one contender match for the world title of Mac Daniels versus Rip Bison, which are two guys out of the Northeast. Mac Daniels specifically is from the Limitless Wrestling Dojo, and Rip Bison is actually one of the promoters at Pro Wrestling Grind. But both are mostly in the Northeast. Rip Bison actually is about to later, I think in September, we'll be heading out to Japan for 3 months.
Sick.
So mostly a name in the Northeast, but is starting to get out there, which is really exciting to see. But we also have Jordan Oliver coming in this later this month, who's making a big name for himself in GCW right now.
Yeah.
So to answer your question again, it is an even mix of local, very talented homegrown wrestlers and some fly-in talent.
Cool. Yeah, I feel
And
like
right in the face.
Shit. Is this the hardwood floor? Is this like a dance floor? What kind of venue is this?
This is it's called the Yarmouth Amvets, so it's like a place where people play bingo or shoot horseshoes in the backyard. Basically like a Knights of Columbus.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh. That was impressive. Little tough landing there. She's tough.
She might hit this one though.
Off the third rope.
What do we got here? Shooting star press? No. Woo!
Oh, 450. Oh, wow.
Oh, damn.
Gets the victory over
That's
Kylie,
clean
huh?
too, huh? Didn't need to cheat. I mean, the biting a little bit, but I think you probably let that slide.
Just a little bit. I did yell at her.
Cool. So, is she women's division? I'm assuming Becca is a staple in that. Then, very very common on shows.
So at Limitless, there's no real division. It's sort of like Chikara had a phrase, equal rights and equal fights, which I feel like applies to the Limitless roster, where like she's wrestled back when Alec Price was our heavyweight champion. She wrestled Alec Price for the title. I would say probably like 60-40. She has more matches with men than she does with women at Limitless.
Okay, cool.
But she is a staple of the promotion, yes.
That's awesome. No, that was really cool. I mean, I think that even that little sample of a match made me want to watch more Limitless for sure. It's kind of cool. It was a good choice because you picked someone that we are familiar with and then someone who is like a staple at Limitless. So
yeah,
that was fun. And the other match is a 20-minute banger, I believe.
I don't remember. So I was there. I don't remember it being that long. When I looked at the time, I was like,
we're gonna jump right into it too.
Yeah, we're jumping right into it.
So
I don't remember it being that long either, so I apologize.
I mean, she's gonna have her hands full with this.
This is packed. This was. Do we have a date on this, Chris?
It's
19. No, either 2018 or 2019. I think 19.
Calihan seems extremely confident. He has every right to. He's on a roll.
So this was at the Jim Lina Memorial Tournament.
Last night in a
oh right,
wild match.
Sami defending his title against Kris Statlander. I have no idea what she was trying to do.
I don't think she does either.
What's that bell ring?
She's kind of out there sometimes, but that's like the beauty of her too.
This is 2019.
Heavyweight title.
Thank you.
2019. This was the one that Josh Alexander won?
Yes.
Okay. This is the one I basically had a perfect bracket for this one. Which
congratulations.
Yeah. And now they started to change it because I have this theory that they changed the format or they stopped releasing the bracket because I had the perfect bracket.
Won.
I figured them out.
You won too many times.
I figured them out. So now they had to now they do this thing where they don't release the matches, which to Chris's point, kind of to your and Chris's point, does give that a little bit of shock factor when you go and you don't know who is exactly wrestling who. So I guess that.
I do.
Now this match was not
when I.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say when I got to go back and do the lineup in, I think it was 2021. It was really exciting to be able to like you felt it from the fans where they had no idea. Like not only who was facing who, but what match was happening. Like right in, like who was going to walk out of the curtain, and then were they going to wrestle?
Yeah.
And then where the bracket would go from there. Hey, there's Watson.
Is that the cameraman?
Yeah, who made Chris's shirt?
Wait, say again.
The photographer in the lower corner who made the shirt, the Naito shirt. And I keep hitting,
cool.
I keep hitting the mic, and I apologize.
You're good.
You're good.
Yes, we talked before, and Chris is wearing the Naito comes with Logan shirt.
Yeah, that was 2018. February 17th, I think it is.
I feel like in 20 years you might be able to get some money for that. That's a collector's item.
Yeah.
Well, that was a plan with a lot of things, Charlie, but
all the Funkos, the Rose goals back there.
Yeah.
JT Davidson, am I saying that right?
JT, yeah, he just ran away.
JT.
What a legend.
He was so good. One of my favorite managers for sure.
Sami is just so good intergender too.
Sami's so good, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He oh shit. I still gotta say it's almost kind of weird going to AAW shows and not seeing him there somewhere in the card, you know? Like it still feels like
And here's me yelling at him.
Wow, Nate, right? Not also a little clean shaven. A little clean shaven in this video, I think.
A little bit.
Before everyone decided to grow a beard in the pandemic. Nate did not care. Nate was right in his grill. I mean, what's the count? Oh no, wait. There's no DQ, no
right.
countouts. That's my bad.
It's Pro Wrestling Redefined.
Pro Wrestling Redefined.
And yelling at Sami Calihan's my favorite thing to
do.
We talked about when he put you through a table before, right?
Yes. Almost exclusively.
He kicked your ass for a couple of shows. That was funny. I'm sorry. It was funny to watch it was funny to watch you get beat up for a couple of shows. Knowing you were okay, of course.
Yes. Man, he's such a jerk.
Does Becca try to pull any of that? Does she doesn't try to pull any of those shenanigans, right? Do you get beat up at Limitless or no?
I have on occasion. I haven't gotten spit on before.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Has Sami been there?
Oh, yeah. He does that in this match.
No. Has Sami been at Limitless?
Oh, yeah. I believe one time in like 2018, I think, there was a show that I actually I had come back to visit family, and then they were having one of their anniversary shows, so I went to it as a fan, and he was on that one.
Cool. So how long have you been out there? Has it been like 2 years?
I moved in 2020.
Okay. So yeah, probably 3-ish, 2, 3.
Almost 3 at this point, right? What year are we in?
2023.
This was a sold out crowd for sure.
Oh yeah,
it looks packed. Yeah.
It's the JLMT.
Statlander too actually has been at Limitless before too.
Nice. In a month minus a day, I will be at the LSA. We call it the LSA now. I don't know if you've heard since you moved, but we call it the LSA. I will be at the LSA watching Stormtroopers in high heels and a sexy Jabba the Hutt.
I heard Trent talking about that, and I desperately want to come see that.
Yeah. Star Wars Burlesque.
I need it.
I bought tickets.
In my life. I'm so happy for you. I'm also very jealous.
No one does a figure 4 anymore. This is great. Nice figure 4.
As a kid, I was put on a figure 4, and whatever that other kid was doing was hurting like hell.
It's not comfortable.
No. It hurts like the shin bone, right? That's where like the pain is.
Excruciating.
Yeah. I was gonna say what I'm trying to think of some other theater I saw that you'd appreciate. I just saw the Who's Tommy on stage.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Where'd you see that?
Goodman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. First time at Goodman. I like it. It's a little but it still kind of feels big.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's big. It's just not as big as like the other ones. I think Cadillac or I can't even Niederlander is one that I think that name's kind of new.
Oh yeah, they changed it, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. My wife's mother has a theater group in near New Lenox, Illinois.
Okay.
Which is like near Joliet.
Yeah.
And they did a Steel Magnolias, and it was
nice.
It was really amazing. Yeah, that was.
I've seen that show before.
The movie is a tearjerker for sure.
I've not seen the movie, but I have seen the stage show.
Kris, have you seen Steel Magnolias?
Nope.
Worth a watch.
I am not
I love
ready
how
to cry,
Kris
Charlie.
Statlander's in so much pain, and we're talking about Steel
I
Magnolia.
know. I mean, is this move illegal, Nate, or no? What he's doing there? Like
Well,
utilizing the
AAW,
power?
there's no rules, so
True. I mean, you gotta maybe, I don't know. Would you so you don't give him a 5 count there?
no.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Sammy has done that, like where he spits up and catches it back in his mouth, and he has to have missed and caught some shit in his eye.
Oh, there we go.
Oh well, there it is. Well, now Nate caught something.
He better get his.
You look kind of fired up.
Yeah, look, I mean, you can see it on my pants.
Statlander with a reversal. She can't really counter. I mean, she's hobbled at this point.
Here's a comeback.
Is Sami wrestling anywhere? I don't know if he's like very active.
Other than Impact, no, I don't. And Revolver, I don't think so.
Okay. But he had a grueling schedule for years when he came back from like NXT, so he's probably just chilling.
Yeah.
Statlander, I believe, Sarah Joy Shockey favorite, if I recall correctly.
Oh yeah.
She should be everybody's favorite.
Well, she just came back from like a year and a half of being out.
Statlander?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not sure how
Statlander.
long, but it felt like a very long time, for sure.
Yeah, with a knee, she would have like some knee injury. I don't know if it was like tendon or something like that. ACL, bunch of stuff underneath.
Now she's the AEW TBS champion.
Oh shit!
That's right. Yeah, she came back and won it, right?
Beat Jade Cargill.
Is that Marty on the call right now?
I believe so.
There you go. It's kind of weird seeing the the AAW 2019. You're almost trying to transport it back, seeing like some of the same crowd faces. You know, those were good times,
Yeah.
man.
I haven't found you guys yet, but
Right
on-
right there. I'm right there. I see it, but the
Is that
bottom
you?
to the right,
Oh.
turnbuckle.
Oh, that's right.
next to the door.
So then I'm
Yeah.
right next to you, behind that lady that's covering her mouth.
Uh-huh.
I had a great view. Because usually, what I found whenever we would do the JLMTs, I would always be on the other side, like where the camera is right now, by the entrance. Like that was kind of like the spot. Oh,
I was gonna say I specifically remember being at this one that Josh won.
eek.
A move that he loves to inflict pain on people with this maneuver. Oh, the presence of mind. Calihan knowing to grab that.
This is back when I used to go to wrestling shows.
That applies for me too, Charlie. Now we just watch this stuff virtually.
Now we just watch stuff virtually.
It's
I did-
safer.
Yeah, I did recently go to
Oh, not the chairs.
a freelance emporium, the last one, and I had fun. And Hank was on the call. My friend Hank.
Oh,
was on
really?
too. Yeah, with Jason Midas. I think that's his name.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I said that wrong. And Coda and Brian Keith. Brian Keith, once again, like the man has had
Amazing.
like 9. His whole title run has been like just bangers. But they had a really good match.
I thought about I got to work with him in a match against Desmond Cole, who's an incredible talent, also from the Northeast. And I had thought about putting that match in here for us to watch. Brian Keith is tremendous.
Yes. He's like over with my wife's friends, like, and they're like casual fans, but completely over with them.
Ooh, Nate pulling back on that 2 3/4 there.
It's,
you saw
it's
the
so
elbow.
close.
Or the shoulder.
It's so like when it's so close like that, I have no choice.
He just didn't work with Sami Calihan.
It's a very Nate, very well ref match so far.
Thank you.
Just props.
Really? Okay.
Thank you. I wasn't going to say it, but
He's got yet another chair. And right now,
remember, folks, there's no rules.
Calihan.
I mean, until the building guy decides that there's no more chairs.
That's not this match, though. Don't worry.
Right.
And those are our chairs. So.
Yeah.
That chair, I cannot
At least there's a license. You guys are operating under a license in this match, which is nice.
Statlander.
Yeah. Woof.
Beyond me.
Nate? What other wrestling are you watching in your spare time, or are you getting your fill just from like kind of going to the shows and watching the local stuff? Are you watching anything else at this time?
What? Mostly AEW and New Japan right now.
Okay.
Signaling for death warrant here. And here goes Calihan off the rope. Oh, Statlander with a super kick.
She comes back.
And another super kick right on the money.
Still throwing
Oh.
those kicks.
On that knee.
Still spinning. Oh,
big
no rules.
to the midsection.
I mean,
Statlander picks up
And he deserved it.
I know. I was gonna say you didn't even. You just went about your business when that happened, which you should, of course. Nothing to enforce.
Sami Calihan in a vulnerable position. Kris Statlander, if she can put something together, we're gonna have a new champ here. Absolutely. I know it's been a tough road, but you got to keep going. And right now, Statlander.
What was your take on that new champ, old champ
Here she is going
chant?
to the top.
Uh,
Fight through the pain, the
yeah,
tough.
it's
Did it bother you
it's
that
fun.
people said old champ and not current champ?
She can take it from here. Callahan's up.
Is that a thing?
Well, because people would be like, well, if you're saying old champ is you're referencing to the old champ, not the current champ.
I think current would take too long to say.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm like, just go along with it.
I see
You
what
gotta
you're
fit in
saying
an
there.
extra syllable.
Here we go. Oh.
You know who I remember making that argument? Phil. Can't remember his name, his full name. He was a commentator for AAW.
Oh yeah, Colvin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phil Colvin.
Love this part.
Oh,
Oh,
Sami Calihan, what is he doing? The Iron Manager. Kris Statlander.
the Iron Manager. That's right.
And
Oh.
you boned.
there you go. Okay. It's actually smart.
2 450s in 2 matches.
I mean, I guess he took a brunt of the hit there, though.
Oh, I didn't even
Oh.
think about that.
Off the ropes. Beautiful scissor kick. And Callahan is down. Statlander go for the cover. Oh, come on.
Oh, why you gotta be so light there?
Out of the ring. Right. We almost had a new champ.
Why couldn't he have been more incapacitated?
Right, Rob, either send him out of there or get back in the
Are you throwing him out now?
Look at that. Statlander
Nope,
Oh,
don't
no.
need to.
getting involved.
There you go.
Statlander took it up to her own hands.
And right now,
See, and these were the moments that made you believe like it could happen. Sammy's gonna lose his title.
that first one took a lot out of Sami. And Statlander. Beautiful 450. Connects. Oh!
So close.
Milliseconds away from a new champ.
It's pretty amazing how she's very tall. I think Becca is very tall too, and amazing how you can rotate your body like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand like logistically how you do a 450 anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. How do you get up from that? But
You don't.
Yep.
JT with the save.
Those are
3
great
times.
times. Great times, man.
Takes you back, don't it?
That does.
It does. Miss those days.
Yeah. Man.
So good.
Well, Nate, is there
When is the
anything?
next? Yeah, next trip to Chicago, Nate. Do you have it planned? Any idea? Maybe JLMT.
No, that I would love that. I would love it if like AAW did a show and then Warrior did a show the next day, and then like Freelance did a show the next day after that, and I could get like a little weekend in. But yeah, no, I definitely want to come back for a visit and hopefully work a show. I just don't know when that would happen yet.
Yeah. Are they doing like an all out AAW? Are they doing an all out in like Wembley or something instead of here? Right? Isn't it usually here? But they might. Be
They're doing
something
all in
Allowed.
in Wembley.
all in Wembley. Okay.
Yeah. So I think they will still have an all out at some point this year, probably again in Chicago, I imagine.
Chicago, I think. Yeah.
That might be the weekend. You can get that Thursday AAW booking in. And there you go.
And then debut at AEW. There you go.
It's that easy.
It sounds like
the shows just had to align. That's all.
Yeah. It sounds like you're very content though. It's cool. It's amazing to see you still pursuing your passions of the theater plus the wrestling. Are you in a good spot then with everything? Sounds really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very content's not the right word. I am very happy and very blessed to be in the positions that I am in both theater and wrestling. That being said, I would love more.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to keep working hard and hoping that those opportunities show up.
Do you have any sort of thing you're looking for, or it's just like, oh, I really, really like to do this. I'd really like to do that. I'd like to ref in Japan or be involved in Japan or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. I would love that. I do have short-term goals and like mid-term goals, and then very long-term goals that I sort of I would like to like do this and then try to do this and then try to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's that's a logical progression. But if like ultimately I would love a contract, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just gonna keep plugging away and hoping that something works out.
Great. Well, I feel like our time flew.
It did.
We're just kicking back, sipping some suds with some buds. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to, or that we didn't talk about? Anything else on your mind, or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I should plug those shows. Let me be unprofessional and pull them up right now.
The fact that you had the thought about like, hey, let me plug my shows, it's more than sometimes we get, and we have to remind people like, hey, where are you gonna be next? What do you got coming up?
Yeah,
you're ahead of the game.
You're prepped.
Yeah,
and you're talking to an unprofessional podcast as well. So
that's like JT Davidson had a podcast for a while that was called Vague and Unprofessional.
He did. It was like it was very short lived, but again, huge fan of JT.
Yeah,
it was very good. I loved that show. So yeah, Limitless Wrestling's next show is called Crunch Time, and it is happening on July 29th. It's a Saturday. It will be live streamed on IWTV.
There you go.
And so if you are not in the Yarmouth, Maine area, you can watch it live on IWTV. Guys, vamp for me for a second while I find out my other show.
Yes.
Well, just to remind you, right, you can always check out the matches that we just watched. Kylie versus Becca, Limitless on YouTube. Definitely, if you're watching, us, you can catch the match there. But make sure you give the other promotion a follow, right? Give Limitless a follow. Give AAW a follow. We just watched Sami Calihan versus Kris Statlander. And from us that we've been covering AEW and Chicago wrestling shows, a show in the LSA of that caliber, the JLMT, definitely brings us back, and it actually made me feel like we were there for a minute. Like, no lie, like just
Yeah.
watching the crowd, the lighting, the venue, and the crazy nonsense from Sami Calihan definitely has that AAW taste and smell and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to real quick plug Pro Wrestling Grind has a show Friday, July 28th called Hallowed Be Thy Name. So we had our inaugural Grind Grand Champion, Jay Freddy. He tore his Achilles in a match defending against Anthony Henry. So now the title is vacated. So we had a tournament on the last show where we had 4 matches, and then the winners of those matches now face each other in a 4-way match again on July 28th, and that will be Travis Huckabee versus Mike Skyros versus Perry Von Vicious versus Delmi Exo to decide the new Grind Grand Champion.
We know Delmi.
And I heard that they were gonna make that a bracket, but then they heard about Charlie, so they're like, scrap the bracket. Let's just go with a 4-way.
I love it.
That's a busy weekend for you, huh? You're back to back there.
Yeah, I love it. I live for it.
That's great. And July 15th, Berwyn Eagles Club, next AEW show, Never Say Die.
If we talk about smell, taste of AAW, Berwyn Eagles Club is it.
Let me that bathroom. Everyone should smell that bathroom at least once in their life.
I refuse to go in it.
Where do you go? Where do you go pee?
Absolutely refuse.
You just hold your pee? What do you do?
I don't want to go in there. I don't worry about it.
The bathroom, it gives it the whole venue has character, but you got to go in the bathroom. It's so disgusting. No, it adds to it. It adds to the character. It's funny. Well, yeah, this is cool. This will allow us to put over some new promotions, which is great. We just released a clip too, where Trent was like, and I felt like it got a lot of positive love, which Chris mentioned. We're coming full circle now. Chris mentioned positive casts in the intro. Trent was naming all the promotions that gave words of encouragement when that show was canceled. And it was promotions some I think we have talked to, some we haven't talked to. So everyone kind of, Defy, I think, was one of them. And everyone just kind of, I think, felt the love from that tweet. And the cool part about this, catching up with you, but we also get to plug Grind. Did I say that right? Pro Wrestling Grind, and then Limitless, just promotions that we don't get to talk about it as much. So spread the love around.
Yeah, I love it. I would have had a Grind match on here too, but you guys asked me for one Limitless and one AAW. So
we did. We can. Hey, man. I mean, we do have some guests.
The band back together. We can always bring Trent and the whole AAW fam and just do some watch along different matches. But it was definitely really cool catching up, seeing you, even though you're not in person. We get to see you through this virtual machine, and it's cool that we get to do this. So thank you for wanting to do it and jumping on this late to record.
Well, of course, thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, you're great. You're a great man. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm not as great as Perch, but thank you.
It's no one. Literally, no one is. No one is. No.
Hashtag be like Perch. That'll just make you a little bit better.
Should we change that to our new one?
I should have been wearing my Perch. I should have been wearing my Perch shirt instead. I've got Penta pile driving Sammy with pancakes.
Pancakes and pile drivers, ain't it? Yeah.
That's a pretty cool one.
I do have my Perch shirt upstairs though.
Cool. Yeah, we should change that.
Go along with the Penta cakes.
You gotta have that be the pop up hashtag, Chris. Be like Perch. I know you got those tricks up your sleeve.
We can make that happen. But we do have a great ref here, so
it's true.
Just support your local refs 100%. They, believe it or not, they make a difference.
They do.
So
I can note. I notice stuff like that. I'll lean over lean over to my wife at a certain show, and I'll just be like, I don't like this, or like I'll be like, you see this, and this. Like I get to show her the tricks, like because I like when a ref's count is off, it really bothers me during a match. I've had this conversation with Kris before. But that doesn't happen too often. But like, yeah, little subtleties like that, I think, make all the difference. So I agree.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Perch.
Hashtag be like Perch. On that note, we're gonna close off. As far as Two Heels in the Face goes, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything is number 2 Heels in the Face. Visit the website, twoheelsintheface.com. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you, Nate.
Thanks everybody for listening.